They say stone holds memory, that the walls remember. In Columbus, Ohio, there once stood a prison that pulsed with rage, sorrow, and death. The Ohio State Penitentiary wasn't just bricks and bars. It was a tomb with a beating heart, a place where men disappeared in the silence between screams, where riots turned cell blocks into charnel houses, where fire kissed flesh, where ghosts never left. And though the prison is long gone, the echoes remain. This is the story of one of the darkest places in American history. Welcome to the Ohio State Penitentiary. Opened in 1834, the Ohio State Penitentiary was modeled on the bleakest prison philosophies of the day: silence, isolation, obedience. Prisoners marched in lockstep, heads down, no talking, no looking up. The walls were 5 stories high, built from thick limestone with turrets and Gothic spires, looking like a medieval fortress. It looked more like a castle of torment than a house of reform. The philosophy was simple: break the body, reshape the soul. But over time, the penitentiary became less about reform and more about containment, more about punishment. It was overcrowded, diseased. The air still was sweat and rot. By the early 20th century, it held over 5,000 men, twice its intended capacity, and within its walls, hell was brewing. Life inside was harsh. Cells measured 7 by 4 feet, barely enough for a man to lie flat. There was no heat, no plumbing. Winters turned men blue, summers cooked them alive. Food was rotten. Water came with worms. Guards beat prisoners for minor infractions. Solitary confinement meant a dark hole the size of a coffin. The prison had its own morgue, its own cemetery. But the worst was yet to come, because fire doesn't care about stone. And in April 1930, the penitentiary caught fire. April 21st, 1930, nightfall. In cell block E, someone shouted fire. Flames spread fast, paint ignited, wooden beams went up like matchsticks. Guards panicked, many fled. Others refused to unlock the cells. Hundreds of prisoners were trapped inside, banging on their doors, screaming, pleading. The heat bent steel. The smoke suffocated. 320 men died that night, burned alive or crushed by falling stone. It was the worst prison fire in U.S. history. Some say they still scream from the walls, that you could hear them during storms. And after that night, something inside the prison broke, something that couldn't be rebuilt. After the fire, the prison didn't heal. It festered. More beatings, more deaths. In 1952, another riot broke out. Inmates took guards hostage, demanding the food, heat, dignity. 2 guards were killed, dozens injured. The state cracked down even harder. Executions resumed. Men were led to the electric chair in a quiet basement room. Some had to be strapped in twice because they wouldn't die. And then there were the murders between inmates. Stabbings with shanks made from spoons, strangulations with shoelaces. A prison of desperation, of madness, of ghosts. In 1979, the Ohio State Penitentiary was ordered closed. Too dangerous, too cruel, too haunted. By 1984, the last inmate was transferred out, and the stone fortress stood silent, empty, but not still. Visitors began reporting cold spots, disembodied voices, shadow figures darting across abandoned cell blocks. The basement, once home to the electric chair, was said to hum without power. Tour guides quit. Paranormal groups moved in. Some never returned. In 1998, the prison was demolished, but pieces of it still exist. Artifacts, photos, records, and of course, the stories. Even now, the land where the penitentiary stood is considered cursed. Locals report flickering lights, shrieks in the distance. Dogs won't walk near it. Birds won't fly over it. The Ohio State Reformatory, a sister prison in Mansfield, still stands, used in films like The Shawshank Redemption. It, too, is haunted. Some say spirits moved from Columbus to Mansfield. The energy, the suffering, it had to go somewhere. What happened in those stone walls did not stay there. History doesn't always fade. Sometimes it lingers. Sometimes it follows you home. The Ohio State Penitentiary is gone, but if you close your eyes and listen, you might still hear the chains rattle, the screams, the final prayers. They say history is written in books, but in places like this, it's carved into the stone. And stone never forgets. If this story chilled you, subscribe. We'll bring you more tales from the dark corners of time. Because behind every locked door, there's a shadow. And every shadow has a story. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.